Okay, can you hear me now? Wow, that was a mistake. Um, oops. All right, I guess I'll just say what I was saying a minute ago. This is Draw Something with Andy. I'm Andy, and sorry, my having a brain fart here. This is a drawing by request show. I'll just draw whatever you. I'll just look in the chat, and if you drop a request for me, I will draw whatever it is you requested. It can be anything. I've over the last 6 weeks. This is my sixth week doing this. I've drawn stuff like a giraffe with a top hat and a monocle. I've drawn a unicorn roller skating. I've drawn poodle moms having a picnic on the seashore. I've drawn a full-scale battle of cats versus dogs, a cat with a machine gun and a dog in a helicopter. I will basically draw anything. Or at least I will try my best to do your request justice if you drop a request in the chat. But for right now, I'm going to start by drawing one of my characters, which is actually my little sister Danny. Her full name is Danielle, but Danny, Danee, is her name that she goes by. So I've actually written a couple of books by her, or books about her. And the first one was about her not wanting to go to school. And the second one was about her going on a fantasy shopping trip. And all right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw Danny here. So like a lot of my people characters, just got to start with a round head. Got a couple little lines there for the neck. And I got the headband here, her little headband. Recently, when I draw Danny now, generally I have done away with the headband. She's grown up quite a bit. I wrote the first book starring her when she was, I think, 5 or 6, and she's now 12, so it's been a while. She's grown up quite a bit. But I'm doing her the original way I drew her when she was 6 or 5. And so let's see, I'll draw her shirt here. Ooh. Let me try and do that again. There we go. Alright, so I got her shirt, and she has a little flower on her shirt here. Draw some arms with little 3-finger hands. I don't do the most anatomically correct drawings. This is just the style that I've just done naturally. I will draw 4 fingers and a thumb sometimes, but most of the time I just go with these just 3 little bumps for the fingers. Alright, then I'll go ahead and draw her pants, which are striped. And normally I color the shirt pink and I color her pants green. So she has a pink shirt with a flower and green striped pants. And then I will go ahead and draw the rest of her hair here. Alright, got that. And a couple of lines, little vertical lines for eyes. May give her some eyebrows that are popping up. Big old smile right there. And then she's got socks on. She's just inside the house right now. She hasn't put on shoes yet. She's still getting ready for school. And there we go. That is my sister Danny as I draw her. So part 2 of this, as I mentioned a minute ago, one of the books I've written about her is a story about her going on a fantasy shopping trip. So she has a personalized fantastical shopping cart that I'm going to start drawing here. Alright, so start off with just the basic basket. And going to make it 3-dimensional. Alright, here we go. Alright, there we go. We got the 3-dimensional basket shape there. I'm going to go ahead and add the D icon Then I'll start adding in these little windows that you normally see on a shopping cart. It's mostly open, but you got this little grid pattern. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and wait on this and draw the rest of it and then finish this later so I can show the rest of it. So this isn't just a normal card. This is actually a card that at the end of it has a big, comfy chair for maximum pleasure riding. This is a top of the line deluxe shopping cart. All right, there we go. Once again, got to put the big old D on there. This is Danny's cart, and don't you forget it. And then we got the bottom of the chair there that's hooked to the cart. I'll go ahead and draw the little wheels on here. And now I think I'll probably go ahead and finish drawing the little squares. So yeah, in the book, what happens basically is she goes shopping with her mom, and she starts asking to buy stuff for just no other reason. She's at 5 years old. Something she often did was she asked if she could have this or have this or have this or have this or have this just because, and she keeps asking, can we buy some cupcakes? Can we buy some ice cream? And her mom keeps saying no, and she starts to get increasingly irritated until she finally just blows her stack. And she demands to have her own shopping trip, and so she ends up getting magically transported in a puff of magic smoke to a magical grocery store called Danny Mart. And it's there that she has her magic shopping cart that I'm drawing right now, and it's basically like a grocery store as a theme, but designed as a theme park. There's a frozen winter wonderland is the frozen food section. The bakery is just another wonderland, but of bread and bagels and donuts and cupcakes, of course. And the produce section is a big old jungle. And gonna go ahead and start doing a crisscross pattern here on the chair. So the produce section is a jungle, and then there's Slushy Falls, that was another thing, is she always liked to get a slushie when she went to the grocery store at the food court. Usually at Target they would have the slushie machine in the food area, so she always wanted to have one of those, and that was something she always liked. So there's another part of Danny Mart called Slushy Falls, where it's just these giant fountains of slushy that just pour into this big old ocean of slushy. And there's different flavors, and they have different borders separating them. And this cart turns into like this surfing boat that she gets to cruise around the giant slushy lake on. It's really cool. Oh, hey there, Marty Pajamas. I can draw a DVD case for you. I haven't done DVD openings in a really long time. That was a thing I did several years ago. I've kind of I've moved on to other things now. This is a drawing by request show. I've created a lot of my own fictional characters, and I'm just taking on people's requests in the chat and drawing whatever request I have thrown at me. All right, so I think that does it. Here we go. We got Danny's fantastical shopping cart. So yeah, the book this is from is Danny Goes Shopping. That and the other books and stories I've written about my sister Danny are on my Facebook account right here, Toll Booth Publishers. That's just facebook.com/Toll Booth Publishers, as it's written there. I have a lot of my books posted there as photo albums. And that's where you can find Danny Goes Shopping, and also Danny Doesn't Want to Go to School, which was the first one I wrote starring Danny. And yeah, so... alright, so first request of the night, Marty Pajamas on YouTube wanted to see a... Oh, let me just go ahead and bring up the full view here. I usually do that. So yeah, there's my sister Danny, and there's her fantastical shopping cart. And I almost forgot to draw the rocket booster that it has on the back here. There we go. All right, there we go. So Danny and her fantastical super shopping cart. All right, so first request, Marty Pajamas on YouTube wanted a DVD case. And I actually kind of like this request because there's a lot of openness with this. I just have to draw the basic case design, but then I can basically make the movie or TV show or whatever it is that this is a DVD of whatever I want. Unless Marty Pajamas has a suggestion for what he wants on the DVD cover. Alright, so let me go ahead and drew the front cover, I drew the spine. Go ahead and make the... Alright, there we go. There's a DVD case. Alright, so, alright, I got an idea. This is a pretty funny story. It's a little... I feel a little self-conscious talking about it, but I'm an adult, I can do it. So when I was a kid, when I was in like going up through like middle school, I had kind of a obsession with hugging people. And it would be like one of my parents would come through the door after, being on an errand or coming home from work, and I would just immediately just charge at them, arms wide open. And one day I did it, and my dad gave me the nickname Hugbot. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that here as the big title on the screen, on the DVD case. H-U-G... B-O-T. Hugbot. So yeah, that was a nickname that I had for quite a while, and I used to hate it. I just felt so embarrassed by it, but I just kind of see it as a joke now, so... And it was just kind of what popped into my head. I remember when I was... One of the things I drew in Microsoft Paint, I used to draw a lot in Microsoft Paint as a teenager. I created a fictional DVD cover for the movie Hugbot, and that just popped into my head when Marty Pajamas requested a DVD case. So I'm gonna go ahead and make Hugbot the movie, the DVD, the toilet paper, the official video game. I could just keep adding the official on top of the other. The official video game, the official toilet paper, the official, basically Spaceballs. All right, so of course, Hugbot. The twist here is that Hugbot is actually kind of evil, and he will basically hug people to death, and it's kind of scary. And oh my gosh, Jennifer Garcia, so great to see you. Really, really great to see you. I'm so glad you're here. If you have a request, I can totally draw it for you after I'm done with this one. Just drop it in the chat. I'm sorry. I guess on Facebook it's more like the comments. I'm thinking of Twitch lingo. But yeah, if you can just leave a comment, I can totally draw a request for you. Alright, so here we go. We got Hugbot. So yeah, there's that. So I hear there's this little like kind of little crossover movie out right now, like something about King Kong fighting Godzilla. What I want to know is, what about King Kong fighting Hugbot? That would be a battle I would pay to see. That sounds like it would be well worth the price of admission. All right, so we got Hugbot here on the cover. Got a little skyscrapers here, the city skyline. Hello, Carlos Aguilar on YouTube. Good to see you. All right, so and then here's the obligatory tagline: "The world is." Let me change that there. The world is about to get squeezed. All right, just going to draw a couple more windows here on the skyscrapers. And then to complete the picture, I'll go ahead and do the spine. All right. This is a Tollbooth Films home entertainment. My brand for my art and drawings and books that I make, graphic novels that I make, is Tollbooth Publishers. So my film division would be Tollbooth Films, and this is the home entertainment division, and they're the ones who have released Hugbot on DVD for your viewing pleasure. All right, there we go. Go ahead and just draw the little image here in the corner or at the bottom of the spine. There's a little tiny set of numbers right there. I feel like there's just a random set of numbers there on the spine, like a security code or something. All right, so there we go. All right, so so this is a DVD. This was a DVD case as requested by Marty Pajamas on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna put the date here and my initials, and there we go. Let me go ahead and bring up the full view here. So yeah, this is Hugbot the movie, the DVD. And I got just pretty basic DVD design here. Just got the spine, got the front cover image. I could do the back cover actually, maybe. I'll go ahead and maybe add some special features. Alright, special features include behind the hugging featurette. Let's see here. Hugging Rampage DVD game. And instead of a gag reel like most DVDs have, this is a hug reel. And yeah, there we go. I think that'll do it. So there you go for Marty Pajamas on YouTube. There's a DVD case, and I decided to make it for Hugbot the movie. All right. So once again, this is a drawing by request show. So if anyone watching right now has a request they want to throw out, don't be shy. I will literally draw anything. I said earlier, stuff I've drawn over the last few weeks. I've drawn a giraffe with a top hat and a monocle, a unicorn roller skating, a wolf roller skating with an afro, a cat with a machine gun shooting down a dog in a helicopter. So I'll draw a pretty good variety of stuff. Just throw it out there. No matter how dumb it sounds or how weird it sounds, it can be the most random thing, and I will do my best to do it justice. But for right now, I'll just go ahead and draw another one of my characters here. Let me see here. All right. Okay. So one book I did a couple, about actually 10 years ago was when I finished it. It was a book that I was working on for like 2 years. I stopped it and then worked on it again and then stopped working on it and then worked on it again. I was very on and off about it, and I finally finished it in 2011, so 10 years ago. It was called Attack of the Doodle Wads. Let me just write out the title here, and also move the paper down so that you can actually see the title that I'm writing. Attack of the Doodle Wads. So basically, how this came up was I started drawing a bunch of doodles in class, which is something I think a lot of school students probably do when they're supposed to be listening to the teacher. So yeah, so basically the story the story is about these two boys who have to stop a living doodle invasion in their hometown. These just these doodles come to life, and they're creepy and scary looking, and they're abducting people. So these boys have to go and stop all the doodles. And how they do it is they suck up the doodles into these vacuum cleaners, which I'm going to start drawing here in a second. These little portable vacuum cleaners that they wear on their backs. I'm not going to lie, this is a pretty blatant Ghostbusters parody / ripoff. That was absolutely what was on my mind when I was writing it. Hey, hello, Damaris Ramos. I hope I pronounced that correctly. How are you doing? Great to see you. Glad you could come, or glad you could join us here. This is a by request show, so if you have a request for me to draw, by all means, drop it in the comments. All right, so let me see here. Go ahead and draw the rest of the vacuum tube here. So yeah, this is a portable vacuum cleaner he has on his back. It's strapped onto his back. Let me go ahead and add the straps here. It's kind of like a backpack. Hey Emily, how are you doing? Emily Mays on Facebook. I'm great. How about you? Once again, if you have a request for me, I will totally draw it for you. On my first stream 5 weeks ago, Emily requested a firefighter, and I ended up giving her a firefighter wearing Birkenstock sandals. So I'm excited to see if she requests anything tonight. Emily Mays, Emily, I'm so glad you popped in to say hello. It is so great to see you here. All right, so okay, yeah. So I got the main human character here sucking up in or has a portable vacuum cleaner that he's sucking something up into, and now I'm gonna draw the something he's sucking up. And this is where I get to go kind of crazy and loose. I tried to make this character look somewhat concrete and have a definite shape and construction to him. Art Van Delay 1979. I am seeing your comments. Oh, Emily Mays requested a taco cat. I can totally do that. I'll save this for later. All right, so for Emily Mays on Facebook, this is a taco cat that I'm going to draw. So let's go ahead and start with the shell. Hey, DJ Glenn McBride. Awesome to see you. So glad you could come. Sorry, I will get more comfortable with talking live. It's still just a little awkward for me right now, but it's week 6. I'm sure that by week 10 or even week 20, I'll be much more on point here. All right, so taco cat for Emily. All right, so I got the shell, one part of the shell here. Go ahead and William Harding OBS is it's the software I'm using to broadcast me drawing right now. Glenn McBride, I see what you did there. And thank you, Emily. That's really encouraging. All right. So, Taco Cat. Go ahead and give him some eyes. Give him a little button nose. Some whiskers. All right. Go ahead and draw the other half here. Actually, before I draw the other half, I need to add in some taco fillings. So let's go ahead and start here with the meat. That good old classic saucy ground beef. Always a favorite of mine. Go ahead and add on some cheese next. Get some little cheese shreds there. All right, there we go. All right, cheese. All right, so shredded cheese. Always love that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and add some lettuce on top of that. This will probably look a lot, more distinct in color. I am going to be coloring this along with all my other requested drawings and posting them on the accounts you see to your left here on Facebook and Instagram. Those are my social media handles. I'll be posting colored versions of these drawings as well as the originals side by side on Facebook and Instagram over the next week. So there we go. We got our ground beef, we got our shredded cheese, and we got our lettuce. Now I'm going to add some tomatoes. Some little chunky tomatoes. All right, there we go. And just a big old gigantic dollop of sour cream to top it off. I don't know about everyone else who's watching, but I could definitely go for that big dollop of sour cream on my taco. It's kind of it's another favorite of mine. All right, go ahead and add some texture here to the taco shell. Emily on Facebook knows what's up, as does Art Vandally 1979. All right, so let me go ahead and add in the pupils here, give them those little sparkles that I like to do. And give them a cute little mouth there. Then I'll go ahead and I noticed I drew a version of Nyan Cat, Nyan Cat, a few weeks ago, and I realized after making it that I never gave him legs. I'm going to go ahead and not make that mistake this time. I'm going to make sure to give him a nice set of 4 legs. There's 2 of them right there. We go ahead and add the other 2 on the back. I also gave a pretty tragic backstory to Nyan Cat, and that the reason he's constantly running straight forward, not looking back, is because he's afraid if he looks back at his body, he's going to be tempted to eat himself. He's got this tasty looking Pop-Tart as his body, so he doesn't want to eat it. He doesn't want to start eating away at his own body, so he just looks forward, charges along, charges straight ahead. And it's kind of a tragic story, and Taco Cat kind of is sort of similar. I mean, I would honestly really, I wouldn't want to be Taco Cat. I feel like I would be really tempted to take a bite out of myself, and that just sounds horrifying when you really think about it. I'm sorry sorry for getting a little morbid here. It's just, sometimes my mind goes to the weirdest places. All right, so go ahead and add some motion lines here for the tail. And I'm just going to throw out one of my favorite Mexican exclamations just to top it all off. Ole! I'll even add some texture to it to make it a little more fancy. Art Vandally 1979 Paradox. That's a good word for it. And of course, then you have to factor in the Taco Cat spelled backwards is Taco Cat. That just makes it even more complicated. Yeah, Taco Cat has some serious mysteries hidden within. But really, who cares? It just looks delicious. Emily Mays will do. I will totally save this. I still have all my other drawings saved from going all the way back to my first stream. Should actually feel like I should probably have those right by me so I can bring them up whenever I mention them. I could probably do that sometime tonight if the occasion calls for it. But yeah, here we go. So, ole! All right, and this was a Taco Cat for Emily, my cousin, on Facebook. Emily, yeah, that's a good idea. I might need to put out an ad in the paper, see if anyone wants to take up that position. All right, 41421, got my initials here. All right, and done. Let me go ahead and go to the full view. So yeah, there we go. We got a Taco Cat. Ole! And that was for Emily on Facebook. Art Vandally, yes, very much like Vanna White. I don't know. I might need to put out an ad for that. All right, Emily, have a great rest of your shift. It was great to see you here. I look forward to coloring your drawing and getting it on social media. Thank you so much again for being here. Art Vandalay, if you have a request for me, I know that you're kind of shy about making a request, but honestly, I will draw just about anything. So if anything comes to your mind, literally anything, no matter how ridiculous, by all means, drop it in the chat. Oh, looks like Glenn McBride's making a request here. A Flower Power Transformer. Man, that sounds good to me. Alright, so for DJ Glenn McBride on Twitch, I'm going to do a Flower Power Transformer. Alright, so let me see here. So I'm going to go ahead and start by giving him kind of this squarish head. Actually, should it be square? Maybe if it's a flower power, it'd be more... It seems like maybe the right shape for its head would be round. Make it a more round head. There we go. Alright. There we go. Got a round head to start things off. Just going to go ahead and just right off the bat, just give him a nice big flower around his head. And, alright, here we go. So, let me see here. Gonna go ahead and drawing the right hand. And I'm gonna go ahead and draw the left hand here as a fist. There we go. Got kind of these blocky, segmented limbs here. Seems like a Transformers kind of thing to draw. A little Transformers-like detail. Okay, go ahead and draw the torso, the upper body here. Just gonna go ahead and add a few more segments. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw the little eyes here. Is it an Autobot or a Decepticon? Honestly, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a Decepticon, Art Vandalay. I feel like this is one of the more especially devious Decepticons. Like, this is like the Decepticon to end all Decepticons. Because, I mean, maybe it's just me, but it seems like most of the Decepticons I see in the Transformers media look really evil, so it's hard for me to kind of see them as really all that deceiving when they're so clearly the bad guys. This fella right here is especially devious because he just kind of looks like the most innocent little thing, and you want to pat his little head, but he's evil. He is fully evil. He is totally 100% on the dark side. In fact, he might be the most evil Decepticon of them all, and yet he's just got this cute little flower getup. So cute. All right. So yeah, I can go ahead and give him a cheesy little smile here. Give him a couple of eyebrows. All right, and let me see here. Trying to think of what I'm going to do for the bottom. I was just going to do the standard 2 legs, but I'm tempted to do something a little different. Because because he's a flower, I should maybe make him a little more plant-like. So maybe instead of simply having legs, he's actually more like a plant. He's got a stem here. Planer pots for feed, Glenn McBride. Could you describe what planter pots? Okay, I get it. Cool. Yeah, let me see. So, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna make his legs these elongated leaves here. And then, as requested by DG Glenn McBride, who did request this drawing, a Flower Power Transformer, I'm going to add planter pots for feet. There we go. Looking good. Except, you know, he's not good. He's actually, again, he is a big bad Decepticon. He's just kind of he's really taken the Decepticon philosophy to its fullest extent. He is going full on happy, colorful, and innocent, when in reality he's gonna kill everything in his path. But you know, he just looks like a cute little flower. Just a cute little innocent little flower. He ain't gonna harm nobody. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start tracing over the sketch I've done here. Alright, got his cute little eyes. Just cute little eyes, cute little nose, a cheesy little smile, or a cheesy big smile. And then we got his arms, which are kind of segmented so that they can easily interlock and switch positions so that he can transform into whatever he transforms into. But I still haven't decided that yet. I mean, it seems like the obvious thing for him to transform into would be a flower. Or maybe I could, you know, have a twist and have him actually turn into a snail. Snails kill plants. Kind of a bit of irony there. But DJ Glenn McBride, what do you think? Do you think I should have him just turn into a flower, or just have him turn into a snail or a slug that is, you know, the #1 plant killer, aside from, you know, chemicals? I think so. Don't quote me on that. I'm not the most. I'm definitely no gardening expert. All right, there we go. All right, there's the fist. There's the hand. All right, so go ahead and trace over all these little segments in his body. Then we got the big leaves for feet or legs. Alright, I'm going to move my arm here. So I've never really been super into the Transformers series. I saw the first Michael Bay Transformers movie in the theater when it came out. I've never seen any of the other ones. I haven't heard the best things about them, but that's just things I've heard. I've never actually seen them for myself. I did see Bumblebee a couple years ago. My family went and saw Bumblebee for Christmas Eve. That was up until this pandemic. Our Christmas tradition had become going to the movies, but obviously last Christmas Eve didn't quite work out. And as far as the toys go, I did actually get a Transformer toy or two when I was younger, and I definitely played around with them a bit. I definitely got the novelty of them turning from one thing to another. But I never got super caught up in it. I never went crazy and bought a ton of other Transformers or begged for more Transformers. But, I mean, it's a pretty cool concept. I can definitely see why it's endured for as long as it has. Alright, so there we go. We got the... Gonna go ahead and add some mechanical segments here on the legs. Because this is still a robot after all. It doesn't look the most robotic-like, but I want to, still reaffirm that it is a robot. It's just a very super friendly and soft-looking robot that, once again, is actually an evil predator ready to strike. It just has this super cuddly exterior. Alright, so there we go. Got the legs here. Gonna just go ahead and add a few little tiny corners here just to add a little bit of texture, mechanical texture to it. Alright, so there we go. There is the Flower Power Transformer requested by DJ Glenn McBride. And because he is a Transformer, he's got to transform into something. And I've decided to go with a... Oh, actually, I was going to add a little more texture here in the flower. DJ Glenn McBride, I'm glad you like it so far. Good. Gonna go ahead and add a little more texture to the flower bloom around his head. And I'm just gonna make it so flippin' adorable. Because again, this robot knows what he's doing. He knows how to, really fool someone into thinking, oh, it's just a cute, innocent little robot. But in reality, he's the deadliest of all. So yeah, we go ahead and finish that up there. Alright, so he's gonna transform into this is his humanoid form, but for his non-humanoid form, I'm gonna go ahead and turn him into not a flower but a snail. Let me go ahead and sorry, just thinking here. Alright, so let me go ahead and label this as his humanoid form. And then as his non-human form, I'll go ahead and have the snail, this big actually he's a little mechanical snail. That's sort of the thing. He, despite being a pretty towering behemoth, in his humanoid form, he can condense down to this really, really tiny evil snail. And I'm not gonna lie, as I'm drawing this, I'm totally just thinking of Gary from SpongeBob. When I think of a cartoon snail, that's what my mind goes to. I was a big SpongeBob fan growing up. So, yeah, let me see here. We got the Actually, I'm going to go ahead and change the texture here on the... Instead of doing a little spiral, I'm going to go ahead and do the classic, you could even maybe say cliched, skull and crossbones. There we go. Art Vandalay, meow indeed. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give him his antenna eyes, which are gonna be sorta kinda horrifying. Okay, actually, they're not really looking so horrifying right now. I can make one of them horrifying. This one looks relatively normal, but this other one's gonna be, First, I'm gonna go ahead and make it sideways. Art Vandalay, that is what Gary says. Yes, Gary. Gary's he's a special snail. He meows. All right, so yeah, gonna go ahead and just draw this really messed up eye here. It's even on fire. I'm just gonna go ahead and have it constantly, continuously on fire, because why not? Dream Bean on YouTube. Can you Arrow the Acrobat? I'm not sure what that is. I'll go ahead and look that up here in a minute when I'm finished drawing this current request, and then I'll get that going for you. All right, so go ahead and add a little more mechanical-esque texture here. And then just to add up, just to top off the creepy factor, I'm going to go ahead and just give him lots of little evil-looking robotic legs. Snails don't typically have legs, but this is no ordinary snail. This is a evil Transformer snail. And yeah, there we go. So there is the non-human form of our Flower Power Transformer. And I just got to come up with a name for it. Let's see, we got Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Starscream, Ironhide. Just give me a second here. Oh boy, I don't want to take too long with this. Let's go with... hold on. Okay, alright. I'm going to go ahead and just call him... wait, go ahead and draw it out in super flowery prose text. That looks more like... That was supposed to be a W. It looks more like an H. Hold on just a second here. Alright, so here we have Floweria, the Flower Power Transformer. So precious and yet also incredibly evil, as shown here. I think when he shrinks down to such a small size, he doesn't have the storage to cover up his evil. Like here, when he's got all this extra space going on, he can cover up the evil at his core. When he shrinks down to such a small size, the evil just, he can't help it. It just shines through and he just looks horrifying. So yeah, that is a Flower Power Transformer for DJ Glenn McBride on Twitch. We go ahead and date and initial it. And I'll go ahead and bring up the full view here. So yeah, there we go. He's got a cute little face, cute little flower blossom bloom around him. He's got these big leaves for legs. He's got flower pots for feet. And he looks big. He looks like a big old teddy bear in his humanoid form. But when he goes to his non-humanoid form, he's this really terrifying-looking snail whose eye is on fire, like consistently, perpetually on fire. Got the skull and crossbones there on the shell. His teeth are bare. He's got these creepy little legs on the bottom. And yeah, there we go. That is Floweria the Decepticon. Alright, so somebody else requested another thing for me to draw. DJ Glenn McBride, I'm so glad you like it. Let me see here. Let me scroll back through the chat here so I can see who it was. Dream Bean on YouTube requested Arrow the Acrobat. I am not familiar with that. You are very welcome, DJ Glenn McBride. So I'm going to go ahead and look it up here really quick. Arrow the Acrobat. Okay, it's an old Sega video, or Sunsoft. It's a Sunsoft video game for the Sega Genesis. And it looks like it's this kind of a cat with a mohawk. And he got a black mohawk, and he's got red big ol' ears off to the side. So yeah, I'll go ahead and draw that. Let me just... DJ Glenn McBride, it was great to see you. Be sure to look out for the colorized version of Floweria the Decepticon. I'll have posted to social media in a couple days. Alright, so for Dream Bean on YouTube, I'm going to draw Arrow the Acrobat. So let me see if I can, let me do my best here. I got a picture of him up on screen here. I was thinking he was a cat at first. I'm not sure if he's a cat or he's more like a bat. He's like a bat. So let me see. Go ahead and start by giving him the round head. And he's got his, he's got a couple little fangs here. Alright, just making sure to keep watching the chat. He's got his big ears, and he's got a pretty stylish mohawk. Alright, so... got his eyes there, got his mohawk there. There we go. Let me go ahead and change the perspective on that a little bit. Put a little more at the center. Okay, that looks a little more like it. Go ahead and add the space here for his little nose. Because I actually need to make his ears a little bit wider so I can show the inside of them. Just making sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Looks like I'm not. Okay. All right, so I think that's about good on the face there, the head. We go ahead and start drawing the rest of his body here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw him in the image I'm freehanding off of. I'm looking at for reference. He's got one arm to the side here, got his hand on his hip. And so I'll go ahead and draw him like that here. And he's got the other hand just kind of free, hanging out to the side, or kind of going out like that. So I'll go ahead and draw it like that. All right, just bear with me here. I'm going to go ahead and make him a little bit wider so I can fit in more detail here on his shirt. Let me just make his arm a little bit, stretch out a little bit more. There we go. That's better. Hold on a second here. Larissa Lowry, hey, I'm sorry I didn't notice your chat message or Facebook message sooner. Great to see you there. If you have a request, be sure to drop it in the chat or in the comments. You're on Facebook, so in the comments. All right. So right now I'm drawing Arrow the Acrobat, who I wasn't familiar with up until he was requested by Dreambean on YouTube. But it looks like he's a video game character who's this bat-like dude. And from what I can tell, he started out in a 1993 platformer or video game on the Sega Genesis. So that's pretty neat. I never had it. I didn't grow up with the Sega Genesis. I actually didn't grow up with the retro console I had in my house when I was really little was a TurboGrafx 16, which is, I think, kind of a lesser-known retro console. I mean, most people are familiar with, like, the Super Nintendo and the Sega Mega Drive or the Sega Genesis or the original NES. And Art Vandelay, was it a TurboGrafx? Is that what you had? So yeah, I used to watch my dad play Bomberman all the time when I was little. I specifically always remember him getting to the level 8-8, which was the big fight against Black Bomberman and all the other colored Bombermans, his henchmen. It was pretty cool. All right, so he's got some big wings here. I'll go ahead and draw those on. Make that a little bit, there we go, that's better. Alright, it was a TurboGrafx Art Vandelay, cool. R-Type, I don't remember that game. The ones I know of are Bonk's Adventure, Bonk's Revenge, Splash Lake. That was a Turbo CD. That was a Turbo CD. There was an add-on for the TurboGrafx called the Turbo CD, and that was Splash Lake was a game on that add-on. My dad actually still has I think he still has his whole collection of TurboGrafx games stored somewhere in his house. But he doesn't have a TurboGrafx console anymore, so they're just kind of sitting there collecting dust. And Dreambean, oh, absolutely, I can totally draw Bonk. I will totally do that. Right now I'm going to finish up your request for Arrow the Acrobat. just about done here. I gotten down to his feet now, so I'm going to draw his little boots. I'm gonna have to probably look more into who this character is and what all he's been in. Apparently, there's looks like from the images I pulled up on Google search, he also had a Game Boy Advance game, which maybe that was just a port of the original game on the Sega Genesis, but I'm not sure. Also, oh, I guess he was also on the Super Nintendo too. I guess, yeah, so it was a multiple console game, but it was definitely from that early '90s 16-bit era. All right, just making sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. All right. There we go. Go ahead and draw the little A's on his boots. Got the little wings there on his boots. And I think that'll basically do it. I think that covers it. So there is Arrow the Acrobat for Dream Bean on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and initial it and date it. There we go. And now also for Dream Bean on YouTube. The PCFX Dream Bean, I don't think I'm familiar with that one. I know that I think in Japan the TurboGrafx was known as the PC Engine. I knew about that. Maybe the PCFX was like a predecessor to that. I'm not 100% sure. All right, so Bonk. I'll go ahead and draw Bonk from the classic platformers Bonk's Adventure and Bonk's Revenge. All right. So this will be pretty basic. Obviously, the most prominent part of Bonk's design is his ridiculously large head. So there we go. Go ahead and start there. I'm once again looking at an image online, so I could try to draw it free-handed from memory, but it's probably not going to turn out so great. So I'm going to go ahead and just look at an image on the internet and go from there. All right, there we go. That looks about right. Dream Bean, let me see here. I'm going to read your request. Zool Zoo. So, okay, I guess is that the title character of the game, Zool Zoo? I can look that up and see if I can draw him. All right, so yeah, we got Bonk here. He's got a big old head, giant cranium, noggin, and then yeah, he just got a his body is honestly almost small enough to be, you know, it's basically dwarfed by his giant head. It's just such a funny design, and the fact that he beats enemies by hitting them with his head, I love it. One of the more underappreciated platformer characters of the 90s. Okay, it's just Zool. All right, I'll see if I can look that up here. Go ahead and add some little spots here to his loincloth. It's giving me flashbacks to the drawing I did a couple weeks ago of a prehistoric eight-legged freak that also had there were cavemen running away from it that also had loincloths. All right, but yeah, there we go. That's Bonk for Dream Bean on YouTube. Go ahead and sign and date it. There we go. Alright, so I got another request for Zool on, or not Zool, I'm so sorry. Dream Bean on YouTube wanted to see, what was it? It was for the Super Nintendo? Did I remember that correctly? Yes, okay. Alright, I see here. So he's kind of like, he's, the thing that's coming to mind, he looks like, I guess, kind of like an insect sort of guy, maybe? I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to describe him, but I'll do my best to, draw him out here on the paper. Alright, so, go ahead and start with, once again, a round head. I should go ahead and just make it solid here. There we go. Alright, so to start off here, we got so he's one of those characters that just has these big expressive eyes but doesn't have a mouth. I guess he's wearing a mask in this case. Alright, so go ahead and draw him there. We just here, okay. Alright, so we got, alright, so he's got like a couple of little horns sticking out on either side of his head. And he doesn't have a mouth. He's I don't know if that's because he's wearing a mask or if he's wearing a full ninja outfit or if that's just his species. Like, actually, I guess I'm seeing some side views of him and it looks like those are actually goggles. So yeah, those are goggles. Alright, so from the looks of it, okay, so he's a ninja from the nth dimension. The nth dimension. That sounds super cool. Areza0519, great to see you. If you have a request for me, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I'd be happy to draw it for you. Alright, let's see here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw him sort of like he is in the picture I'm going off of here. He's holding like a sort of a lightsaber. Looks like a lightsaber to me. It's kind of this glowing spear. Then on his other hand, he's got another one of those spears. Once again, has this glow around it. He's got kind of this strap here across his torso. Alright, so go ahead and draw the rest of his feet here. He's got just kind of these big old cartoony feet. Always a fan of those. Alright, there we go. So yeah, I think that'll about do it. It looks like he's wearing some little bracelets on his wrists. And yeah, I think that'll about do it. That is Zool from the classic video game. And that was a request for Dream Bean on YouTube. Go ahead and add my initials here and date it. And here's the full view of it. So there we go. That's Zool. Character I'd never heard of until just now. Again, like the Ariel the Acrobat I drew a few minutes ago, I might have to go ahead and look more into this character's history. And it looks like Dream Bean has another request for another classic video game character. We got Gino from Super Mario RPG, which is another character I'm not familiar with, but I'm going to go ahead and look it up right now. Okay. Okay, yeah, alright. I got a picture of Gino up. I'll go ahead and try drawing him here. Looks like it'll be a little bit more complicated, but I'll do my best. So I'll go ahead and start off by drawing his ears here. Looks like he's got some little curly ribbons up in the front for his hair. Alright, there we go. So he's got his curly ribbons up there for his hairdo, sticking out from under his hat. Let me draw his hat. It's got this nifty little, what is that, emblem or he's got like this cool little marking on his hat here. Kind of reminds me of an open pair of scissors. Again, it might actually represent something a lot deeper than that, but I haven't played the game, so I'm just going off of what I see. I'll go ahead and give him his eyes that are partially obscured by the hat. He's got these big ol' eye pupils. Go ahead and draw his little nose there. Alright, let's see. So I think that covers the head. Oh, actually, hold on. Go ahead and draw a couple of lines here. Looks like he's... Alright, so there we go. Now I got his mouth right there, so that'll work. Alright, so let me go ahead and draw the rest of him here. So he's got kind of a cape that sort of covers the front and back of his body. And it looks like he's kind of like a wooden puppet guy. Also, he has a bit of a collar here on top of the cape. I'll go ahead and add that in too. There we go. I'm liking these requests that I'm getting tonight from Dream Bean. I've I feel like it's good for me to kind of branch out a little bit from my usual art style and freehand draw more of these fictional characters. Alright, so let me go ahead and draw his fist there. Looks like he's got a nice solid 4 or 5 fingers. Go ahead and have him in a fist. And on the right side, I'll go ahead and make him not official, have him open, have an open hand. There we go. Alright, I'll go ahead and draw the bottom of his body here. Give him a couple of boots here at the bottom. Oh, and I almost forgot to draw the little link that connects his, holds his cape together. There we go. Alright, and I think that'll basically do it. That is Geno from the game Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. And that was a request by Dreambean on YouTube. Again, this is a, for all those watching, this is a by request show. If you have a request that you want me to draw, I will totally do that for you. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the full view here so you can get a closer look at it. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Larissa Lowry on Facebook and Areza0519 on Twitch. If you have a request, please by all means drop it in for me. I would love to draw it for you. Gonna go ahead and get out another piece of paper here. Wow, I cannot believe it's already 8:25. Usually I go for like an hour and a half or around that, so I'm probably going to be closing up shop here pretty soon. But I'll go for a little bit longer. Let's see. Dreambean requested Ritz from Friday Night Funkin'. Once again, not familiar with the source material, but I'll go ahead and look that up. All right, so it looks like it's kind of a rapping rat with shades. I can dig that. All right, let's go ahead and make this happen. So I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing his shades. There we go. Those are some pretty cool looking shades. He's got his eyebrows here. And his shades also have a kind of a glare on them. That's a nice extra little detail. And let me see here. Go ahead and draw his ear. So he's a rapping rat. I don't know anything about his backstory or anything or what his general character is, but I'm just going off of the image I found here on Google. William Harding, RPG is a role-playing game. It's never been it's not really my genre of choice, but I know a lot of other people are really big into it. And thank you, Dreambean, for the subscription. Alright, so I got his glasses, I got his ear here on the right, I got his hat here. He's got kind of a little arrow on his hat. There we go. Go ahead and draw his nose. There we go. There we go. Give him this kind of sly grin here. Gonna start drawing the rest of his body. So he's got a... Go ahead and give him a microphone in one hand because he's a rap master. He's making the rhymes. I can dig that. So yeah, go ahead and draw a Gonna draw a microphone here in his right hand. And in the other hand here, I'm gonna go ahead and looks like in this image he's holding a piece of cheese. I can dig some cheese. I like cheese. He's got a nice big chunk of it here in his hand. Actually, kind of makes me jealous. That is some good-looking cheese. It's got a. It looks like it's a form of Swiss. It's got a bunch of holes in it. That looks good. Fortunately I ate before I started going live. Otherwise, I'd be feeling my mouth would probably be watering right now if I was on an empty stomach and I saw that cheese. I'd be tempted to start. I might even be tempted to start eating this piece of paper that I'm drawing on. But fortunately, I know better. I ate dinner before I went live, so I'm good. All right, let me go ahead and redo that here really quick. All right, so we've got a little thing going on there. All right, there we go. So he's got his cheese, he's got his mic, he's gonna be rapping the tunes, rocking the rhymes. Friday Night Funkin', apparently. Once again, a series I didn't know about until now. I'm learning about a bunch of new video games I wasn't familiar with tonight. So there we go. That is Ritz. I believe that's his name, Ritz from Friday Night Funkin'. And that was a request for Dream Bean on YouTube. And let me go ahead and bring up the full view here. So it's got some wicked looking shades. Dream Bean, thank you for your requests. I hope to see you next time. Thank you for dropping by and making requests. They've been really cool. All right, so yeah, we got a. He's got a hat. He's got a pretty neat looking hat with an arrow on it. He's got a microphone. He's got a big chunk of cheese in one hand. And yeah, that's Ritz from the game Friday Night Funkin'. Again, have never heard of it before tonight, but might need to look more into it. Alright, so I think it's 8:31 where I'm at right now, so I'm probably going to go ahead and call it a night here pretty soon. I'll go ahead and do a review of all the drawings I've done. Let me see what all I got here. Alright, so by request, starting off, my first request for the evening was for Marty Pajamas on YouTube. He wanted to see a DVD case, so I drew a DVD of the movie Hugbot. I told the kind of the funny backstory behind this earlier when I was drawing it. The world is about to get squeezed. Special features include Behind the Hugging featurette, Hugging Rampage DVD game, and a hug reel as opposed to a gag reel. Awesome stuff. My cousin Emily on Facebook requested a taco cat. Olay. Olay. Alright, let me just dig through my stack here. Oh yeah, DJ Glenn McBride on Twitch requested a Flower Power. Let me go ahead and do the full view. Requested a Flower Power Transformer. I came up with Floweria the Decepticon. He's this big, goofy teddy bear in his humanoid form, but then he shrinks down to this really crotchety, nasty-looking snail. It's got an eye that's perpetually on fire. You can't put it out. You try to use a fire extinguisher on it. It just bursts into flame again. There's no stopping it. Got the creepy little legs on the bottom, the skull and crossbones. And he's got, in his humanoid form, he's got two big leaves for legs. He's got planter pots for feet. He's got just the most adorable little bloom around his cute little head. Definitely the wolf in sheep's clothing of Transformer robots. And then I had a series of video game character requests for Dream Bean on YouTube. Starting off here, we have Arrow the Acrobat, kind of this bat-like character. Then we have Bonk the Caveman from the classic platformers Bonk's Adventure and Bonk's Revenge on TurboGrafx 16. Which is a really cool retro console that came out around the same time as the SNES and the Sega Genesis. This is Zool from another classic video game. He's like a ninja dude. Then this is Geno from the game Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. And I could have sworn I had one more here. Was that it? I think maybe that was it. Just go ahead and... Oh, no, that's right. I had one more. This is Ritz from the game Friday Night Funkin'. He's a mouse. He's got a microphone. He's got cheese. He's going to rock the rhymes. Pretty cool. And that's all for tonight. I think I haven't seen any other requests come in. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good for tonight. Thank you to everyone who made requests. Kaiser Soze, good to see you. I didn't realize you were here. I might have missed you when you first showed up. I was flipping back and forth between the chat and Google Images while I was taking some requests earlier. But I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I'm hoping everyone enjoyed the show, and again, thank you to everyone who was here to watch. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. The drawings I've done tonight that were requested, I'm going to go ahead and colorize, and I'm going to be posting to my social media accounts here. I'm on Facebook and Instagram under the name Tollbooth Publishers. And I'll be posting colored versions of these drawings there, and that'll be... yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. And I don't have anything else to say, so have a great night, everyone, and take care.